The United States has held a successful test flight of a missile that's 5 times faster than the speed of sound.
Speed has always been a symbol of power.
The last time anybody besides a fighter pilot was able to hit Mach speed was in one of these.
But what happens when aircraft begin to outrun missiles, sound, and even expectations? From the legendary SR-71 Blackbird to futuristic beasts like the Stratolaunch Talon-A and Venus Stargazer, these jets are rewriting the laws of flight. Get ready to witness the 20 fastest aircraft ever built around the world. Mach 9.6 Beast. What's the fastest aircraft ever built? Not some fighter jet or sci-fi prototype, but a real-deal flight that broke records and turned heads. Say hello to NASA's X-43A, the unmanned speed demon that crushed the skies at Mach 9.6. That's over 7,300 miles per hour. For real, this thing was flying. Literally, faster than a speeding bullet. Back in 2004, NASA pulled off one of the wildest stunts in aviation history. The X-43A hit that jaw-dropping speed during a test flight off the California coast, riding high on the power of a scramjet engine. Unlike your typical jet, scramjets don't carry oxygen on board. Instead, they gulp it straight from the atmosphere, making them super lightweight and built for breakneck speed. This wasn't just a flex. It was a massive leap in hypersonic research. No cockpit, no human pilot, just pure tech blazing through the sky for about 10 seconds before safely ditching into the ocean. And get this, Guinness World Records officially dubbed it the fastest aircraft of all time. After this record-breaking run, the program wrapped up. Like, why would you build the fastest plane ever and then hit pause? That's one mystery folks are still scratching their heads over. Edge of Space Flyer. Back in the 60s, when space was the ultimate flex, the North American X15 was out here breaking barriers like it was no biggie. This beast wasn't just fast. It was manned, rocket-powered, and bold enough to touch the edge of space. Clocking in at Mach 6.7, or around 4,520 miles per hour, the X-15 still holds the crown for the fastest manned aircraft ever built. No cap. This legendary aircraft wasn't your average jet. Strapped to a giant B-52 bomber, it launched mid-air before firing up its rocket engine and climbing way above the Earth, up to 67 miles high. That's so high, 8 X-15 pilots actually earned astronaut wings. Talk about bragging rights. NASA and the US Air Force used the X-15 for groundbreaking research. Every flight pushed the envelope, teaching engineers how to deal with extreme speeds, intense heat, and near-space altitudes. And even though this was decades ago, the data they pulled from these flights helped shape the tech behind modern spacecraft, like the Space Shuttle. Despite flying 199 missions, this rocket plane is still unmatched in speed and altitude for manned flights. It's like the GOAT of hypersonic flight, and yeah, that title still stands. So why hasn't anything topped it in all these years? Is it fear, funding, or just how ahead of its time the X-15 really was? Either way, it didn't just fly fast. It paved the way for a whole new era of exploration. This one wasn't just built to fly. It was built to lead. Russian Mach 20 Menace. When we talk about the fastest aircraft on Earth, most folks think of experimental jets or space-bound rockets. But Russia's Avanguard hypersonic glide vehicle? That thing flips the whole game. We're talking Mach 20. That's around 15,000 miles per hour. Yeah, 15,000. Straight up wild. The Avanguard isn't your average aircraft. It's a strategic weapon, built to carry either nuclear or conventional warheads and glide through the atmosphere with insane speed and unpredictable moves. Once it's launched atop an intercontinental ballistic missile, it detaches and goes full savage, maneuvering fast and low, making it crazy tough for any defense system to track or stop. President Putin called it a game changer, and honestly, he's not bluffing. The way Avanguard cuts through the sky, zipping past missile shields like they're standing still, that's some next-level flexing. Its wild speed isn't just about travel, it's about staying untouchable. But here's the big question. Are we entering a new era of warfare, or just flexing for the world stage? Either way, the Avanguard isn't just fast, it's a full-blown threat with a message. No doubt about it, this Russian glide vehicle didn't just break speed limits, it broke the rulebook. Scramjet Skystreaker. When it comes to hypersonic flight, the Boeing X51A Wave Rider didn't just show up, it showed out. This unmanned test aircraft, backed by the US Air Force and Boeing, was all about one mission: proving that scramjet tech could fly fast and stay lit. But it crushed it. The X51A hit speeds over Mach 5, clocking in around 3,800 miles per hour, and did it with style. Unlike traditional jets, this thing didn't carry heavy fuel tanks or oxygen. Instead, it used a scramjet engine that inhaled air at supersonic speed, then lit it up for a crazy powerful ride. In one of its final flights back in 2013, the Wave Rider flew for over 3.5 minutes at hypersonic speed. That may not sound long, but in the world of scramjets, it's a huge win. Most test flights fizzle out way quicker than that. The name Wave Rider comes from how it literally rides its own shockwaves, using the intense air pressure created at high speeds to help lift and guide the aircraft. Sounds like something out of a futuristic video game, but nah, this was real life. So, what's next for scramjet tech after the Wave Rider? That's still under wraps. But one thing's clear, this beast proved hypersonic dreams aren't just talk. They're real, and they're fast. Could we see scramjets powering the next gen of aircraft, or even space launches? Time will tell. But the X51A? It set the pace and left the competition eating dust. India's hypersonic breakthrough. India's not just in the hypersonic race, they're putting real numbers on the board. Meet the HSTDV, or Hypersonic Technology Demonstrator Vehicle, developed by DRDO. This scramjet-powered bad boy hit speeds close to Mach 6, putting India among a small elite squad of nations mastering hypersonic flight. That's some serious bragging rights. What makes the HSTDV a big deal isn't just the speed, it's the fact that it's homegrown. This unmanned vehicle is all about proving that India can build and fly advanced scramjet systems using its own tech, no imports, no handholding. The 2020 test flight showed the world that India's got the brains and the grit to keep up in one of the most competitive fields in defense and aerospace. The HSTDV is designed to cruise at altitudes around 30 kilometers, riding the atmosphere at over 4,500 miles per hour. And get this, it's not just a cool science experiment. This tech could eventually power next-gen missiles, space vehicles, or even reusable launch platforms. Basically, it's laying the foundation for some game-changing stuff. Sure, there's still work to do, but this flight wasn't just a test. It was a message. India's in the game, and they're not playing around. So, how long before India takes hypersonic tech to the next level? Cold War speed demon. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird wasn't just fast, it was untouchable. Built during the Cold War, this stealthy bird flew so high and so quick, not even missiles could catch it. Topping out at over Mach 3.3, more than 2,200 mph. It was the fastest air-breathing manned aircraft ever to hit the skies. And yeah, it still holds that title. This wasn't some sci-fi jet. The SR-71 was all about real-world recon, flying deep into enemy territory to snap high-res photos before anyone even knew it was there. If someone launched a missile, no worries. The Blackbird would just punch it and leave that thing in the dust. What made it so wild was the design. Its sleek titanium frame could handle crazy heat from high-speed flight, and the engines were basically part turbojet, part ramjet. It wasn't just ahead of its time, it was from another era entirely. Pilots called it the sled, and flying it was like riding a lightning bolt. No GPS, no fancy touchscreen, just raw speed, pressure suits, and nerves of steel. Over its decades of service, it never once got shot down, not even scratched. Budget cuts and satellites took over, but honestly, nothing ever replaced it. The SR-71 didn't just fly fast, it redefined what fast meant. Talk about legendary. Soviet speed machine. During the height of the Cold War, the Soviet Union dropped a serious bombshell, figuratively speaking, with the Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-25 Foxbat. This thing was built to chase down one target, the legendary SR-71 Blackbird, and with a top speed of Mach 2.83, about 1,900 miles per hour, it came real close. The MiG-25 wasn't some nimble dogfighter. Nah, this beast was raw speed wrapped in steel. It flew high and fast, perfect for intercepting high-altitude threats. But let's be real, it was more about scaring than turning. Its maneuverability was mid at best, and tight turns? Not its thing. Still, if you needed to close in on something fast, this was your jet. Powered by two massive turbojet engines, the Foxbat could rocket up to 80,000 feet. That's way up there, basically brushing the edge of space. And while its avionics weren't flashy, the airframe was tough, and the engines were all about that brute force. Here's the twist, though. When the US finally got their hands on one after a Soviet pilot defected in 1976, they found out it wasn't as advanced as they feared. But still, that speed? Undeniably savage. The MiG-25 wasn't built to win dogfights. It was made to make a point. Don't mess with us. And it did just that. Fast, bold, and a total Cold War icon. Air superiority king. The McDonnell Douglas F15 Eagle isn't just another fighter jet, it's a straight-up legend. Since the 70s, this Mach 2.5 beast has ruled the skies, locking down air superiority like a boss. With top speeds around 1,650 miles per hour and combat-proven performance, the F-15 is still flexing decades after its debut. What makes the F-15 such a savage in the air? It's got power, agility, and straight-up versatility. Twin engines push it fast and high, while advanced radar and avionics let pilots track and strike from miles out. This jet doesn't just fly, it hunts, and it rarely misses. The Eagle's been battle-tested too, with over 100 aerial victories and 0 losses in air-to-air combat. That's not just a stat, that's GOAT status. Whether it's taking out threats or flying cover for ground forces, the F-15's been doing it all, and doing it well. Over the years, it's seen upgrades to keep it sharp. The newer F-15 EX variant is packing next-gen tech while still holding on to that raw speed and range the original brought to the table. So, is the F-15 flashy? Not really. But reliable? No doubt. It's the kind of jet you send when you have to win. Decades in and still killing it. That's how you know this bird was built different. Flanker's Sonic Fury. Ever heard of a jet that can rip through the sky at over 1,500 miles per hour and still pull off insane aerial stunts like it's nothing? Meet the Sukhoi Su-27, Russia's high-speed powerhouse that's been flexing in the skies since the 1980s. Built to counter US fighters like the F-15, the Su-27 wasn't just a response, it was a straight-up challenge. This thing hits Mach 2.35. That's 1,550 miles per hour. And with its sleek frame, twin engines, and next-level agility, the flanker wasn't just fast. It was untouchable in a dogfight. One of the wildest parts? It could climb like a rocket and turn tighter than most jets could even handle. Its massive wings and fly-by-wire tech gave it the kind of control that had pilots pulling off stunts you'd only see in movies. High-key, it set the standard for aerial dominance. The Su-27 also packed some serious heat-seeking missiles, radar-guided weapons, and a radar system that could lock onto multiple targets at once. And get this, it was designed to fly over 2,000 miles without refueling. Straight-up long-haul lethal. Even decades later, the Su-27's still buzzing the skies in upgraded forms like the Su-30 and Su-35. It's like the GOAT of Russian air power, fast, fierce, and way ahead of its time. The flanker didn't just chase speed, it redefined it. This Russian legend still slaps. Tomcat top speed. All right, let's talk about a real American icon, the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. If you grew up watching Top Gun, you already know this jet didn't just look cool, it was a straight-up beast. But did you know it could hit Mach 2.34? That's 1,544 miles per hour. Yeah, it wasn't just Hollywood hype. The Tomcat had serious game. Designed back in the 70s, this carrier-based fighter was the Navy's golden child. It had those slick, variable sweep wings that adjusted mid-flight, giving it that perfect combo of speed and control. Whether it was dogfighting at low altitudes or gunning it at high speed, the F-14 could handle it all. But what really made the Tomcat a savage in the skies? Long-range missile power. It was the first of its kind to carry the AIM-54 Phoenix missile, which could take out targets over 100 miles away. That gave the F-14 some major bragging rights: detect, lock, and destroy before the enemy even knew what hit them. Its twin engines were no joke either, pushing it past 1,500 miles per hour, while still being able to cruise low and slow when needed. And let's not forget that iconic two-seat cockpit setup, pilot up front, radar intercept officer in the back. Teamwork made this jet fly like a champ. So, how does a 1970s warbird still get this much love? It's simple. The F-14 was bold, fast, and had more swagger than most jets on deck. The Tomcat wasn't just a movie star. It was a high-speed legend that owned the skies. For real, this jet was straight fire. The moment the US hypersonic test STUNS experts, faster than SR-72, Jaws hit the desert floor. And yeah, no one expected a bright yellow UFO-shaped aircraft in the Mojave. What is this futuristic jet doing in plain sight, surrounded by camo-clad soldiers and glowing like something out of a sci-fi flick? Why is the military testing it in broad daylight? And most importantly, what don't they want us to know? Drop your thoughts below. Starbuster Speed Chase. This next one's a straight-up blast from the past. We're discussing about the Bell X-2 Starbuster, a rocket-powered beast from the 1950s that pushed the limits before jets were even close to catching up. The X-2 wasn't built for war, it was built for answers. This thing was part of an experimental program to study high-speed, high-altitude flight. And man, did it deliver. With a top speed of Mach 3.2, that's 2,094 miles per hour, it didn't just fly fast, it screamed through the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Now this rocket plane wasn't launched like your typical jet. It had to be carried up by a B-50 bomber, then dropped like a giant missile before it kicked in its rocket engine. Once it lit up, it shot off faster than anything else flying at the time. This was some next-level speed, but speed wasn't the only goal. The X-2 was about understanding how aircraft behave when they hit those insane velocities. Think control loss, intense heating, and G-forces that could knock a pilot out cold. Tragically, the program lost one of its pilots during a test flight, reminding everyone that breaking barriers comes with real risks. So why does the X-2 still matter? Because it paved the way. Everything we know today about hypersonic flight and edge-of-space tech started with test birds like this one. The Starbuster wasn't built to fight. It was built to learn. And what it taught us? Straight up changed the game. Supersonic comeback kid. Let's talk about a jet that's bringing the boom back to the skies. Literally. Meet the Boom Supersonic XB-1, a slick American prototype that recently broke the sound barrier, clocking in at Mach 1.3. That's over 990 miles per hour. And yeah, it's just the warm-up act. The XB-1 isn't some military bird, though. This one's got a whole different vibe. It's a test bed for Boom's big vision. The Overture, a next-gen supersonic airliner that's going to bring back super-fast commercial travel, minus the crazy loud sonic booms. Talk about leveling up from your standard red-eye flight. The jet itself? Straight fire. 3 powerful GE engines, carbon composite construction, and a design so sleek it looks like it came out of the future. But here's the real flex. It's built for efficiency, low drag, and smooth supersonic cruising. Boom's team is focused on making this thing not just fast, but actually sustainable. Big W for the planet. Earlier this year, the XB-1 officially hit supersonic speeds in testing, marking a huge milestone. And the hype? It's real. This is the first time in decades anyone's gotten this close to reviving commercial supersonic flight since Concorde was grounded. Are we finally on the edge of flying coast to coast in under 4 hours again? If Boom keeps killing it like this, we just might be. The XB-1 isn't just chasing speed, it's chasing the future. Supersonic travel's making a comeback, and this jet's leading the charge. Korea's jet breakthrough. South Korea's out here making serious moves in the sky with their homegrown jet, the F21 Boeing. This sleek fighter just hit speeds over Mach 1.8 in testing, and that's no small feat. For real, that's a major W for a country that used to rely on imports for its air power. Boeing, which means hawk in Korean, is South Korea's shot at leveling up in the aerospace game. It's not fully stealth, but it's got low observable tech, cutting-edge sensors, and enough firepower to flex in a fight. Basically, it's not trying to be the flashiest, it's trying to be smart, fast, and hella reliable. Powered by twin GE F414 engines, the F21 can cruise near twice the speed of sound. It's got advanced radar systems, long-range missiles, and can even be outfitted for electronic warfare. High-key, this isn't just a prototype, it's the future backbone of Korea's Air Force. But it's not just about defense. South Korea is looking to export this jet and become a real player in the global arms market. That's big-time ambition, and with successful test flights already in the books, the momentum is definitely building. So can the Boeing hold its own against the world's top-tier fighters? South Korea just went from underdog to up-and-comer. The F21 ain't just fast, it's a statement. And the world's paying attention. Hypersonic game changer. This one's next level, the Venus Aerospace Stargazer, a hypersonic plane shooting from Mach 9. Yeah, you heard that right, 9 times the speed of sound. That's over 6,900 miles per hour. If this thing delivers, you could fly from New York to Tokyo in just 1 hour. Total game changer. The Stargazer isn't your typical jet. It's being designed more like a space plane. The team behind it? A crew of aerospace vets and engineers with one bold mission. Cut global travel time down to minutes, not hours. And the tech they're working with? Next level. It features advanced propulsion, heat-resistant materials, and a lightweight design engineered to operate near the edge of space. Now, it's still in development, so we haven't seen it tear through the skies just yet. But Venus Aerospace is gunning hard to turn this vision into reality. And if they pull it off, this won't just be the fastest passenger aircraft ever, it'll be the fastest anything carrying humans, period. What makes it even crazier? It's designed to take off from regular runways, climb to the edge of the atmosphere, hit hypersonic speeds, and then glide down to its destination like it's nothing. This could completely flip the travel game. Hydrogen speed surge. Well, Europe's coming in hot with a fresh contender in the race for next-gen flight. Meet the Destinus 3, a hydrogen-powered supersonic drone that's gunning for Mach 1.3. That's around 1,000 miles per hour, and it's all unmanned. For real, this thing's built to fly smart, fast, and clean. Destinus is the company behind it, and they're all about mixing speed with sustainability. Instead of your typical jet fuel, the Destinus 3 is rocking a hydrogen afterburner. That means it's not just moving quick, it's doing it with a greener footprint. Plus, it's packed with autopilot tech, making it a fully autonomous unit. Kinda like the Tesla of supersonic flight. This isn't just lab talk either. Test flights are already in the works, and if things go to plan, this sleek drone could be buzzing the skies real soon. The company's vision? To eventually push toward hypersonic travel powered by clean hydrogen. Big vibes for future air transport, and the design? Sharp, futuristic, and built for high-speed cruising. It's not made for passengers just yet, but Destinus is thinking long-term. This demo is just the first step toward high-speed, low-emission travel that doesn't trash the planet. Hypersonic Trailblazer. The US just turned up the heat in the hypersonic race with the Stratolaunch Talon-A, an unmanned beast that just hit near Mach 5. That's over 3,800 miles per hour. And yeah, it actually flew at those speeds in March 2024 during its first powered test flight. Talk about a serious flex. The Talon-A isn't your everyday drone. It's a high-speed testbed built for pushing limits. Launched mid-air from a massive carrier jet called Rock, it lights up its own rocket engine and shoots off into hypersonic territory. It's basically the test pilot of the future, but without the pilot. This thing is designed to gather data, test materials, and simulate high-speed missions without putting a human at risk. It's all about developing the next wave of tech for defense, space, and hypersonic travel. And with its reusable design, you better believe they're going to be sending it up again and again. Stratolaunch used to be known for building the world's biggest airplane. Now, they're trailblazing in the hypersonic game. The Talon-A is laying down the foundation for everything from ultra-fast military platforms to space launch systems. The Talon-A didn't just break the sound barrier, it shattered expectations. If this is just the beginning, the sky's definitely not the limit. China's Skyrocket. Let's talk about China's latest speed demon, the MD-22, an unmanned hypersonic aircraft designed to hit a mind-blowing Mach 7. That's over 5,300 miles per hour. It's designed for high-altitude flight and extremely high speeds. The MD-22 isn't flying out of a regular hangar either. It's launched mid-air from a mothership, the H-6 bomber. Once it drops, this sleek drone lights up and heads straight for the stratosphere. Its mission? To push the edge of what's possible in high-speed flight and near-space tech. Now, this jet isn't built for combat, at least not yet. It's a tech demonstrator, testing how aircraft behave at hypersonic speeds and crazy high altitudes. It's all about data collection, material testing, and stress evaluation under extreme conditions. But let's be real, this kind of tech could easily evolve into next-gen surveillance or strike platforms down the line. What makes the MD-22 even more impressive? It's part of a bigger strategy. China's been mixing launch methods, balloons, bombers, even drone motherships, to boost flexibility and surprise. That's a whole new playbook for getting hypersonic birds in the sky fast. The MD-22 isn't just about speed, it's about reach, power, and future dominance. And if Mach 7 becomes the new normal, the hypersonic era is about to get real wild. 6th-gen Ghost Jet. Okay, this one's still deep in the shadows, but it's going to be a game changer. Meet the F-47 NGAD, the US Air Force's upcoming 6th-generation fighter jet. Built under the top-secret next-generation air dominance program, this jet is shaping up to be the most advanced warbird the world's ever seen. Now, there's not a ton of confirmed specs out there, cause, classified, but word on the street is that this jet is going to be faster, stealthier, and way smarter than anything flying today. It's all about next-level stealth tech, AI-assisted systems, and potentially hypersonic speeds. For real, this thing might be able to smoke 5th-gen fighters before they even know it's in the neighborhood. The F-47's also expected to roll with a full-on drone squad, autonomous wingmen that fly alongside it to scout, jam, or even strike. That's not just sci-fi vibes, that's real-world tech being tested right now. And it's not just about dogfights. This jet's built for full-spectrum dominance, air-to-air, air-to-ground, even cyber warfare. With new propulsion systems, advanced sensors, and ultra-long-range weapons, the F-47's looking like the tip of the spear for the future US military. The F-47 NGAD isn't just a fighter, it's the Air Force's vision of total air dominance. And when it finally breaks cover, you better believe it's going to be a beast. Mach 20 monster. All right, this next one ain't just fast, it's straight up mind-blowing. Say what's up to the Hypersonic Technology Vehicle 2, or HTV-2. Developed by DARPA under the Falcon project, this experimental glide vehicle was built to hit Mach 20. That's over 15,000 miles per hour. Yeah, you heard that right. The HTV-2 was designed to do one thing: reach anywhere on the planet in under an hour. The idea? Launch it on a rocket, have it detach, then glide through the atmosphere at hypersonic speed, all without propulsion. It's not armed, but it's laying down the foundation for future strike systems that could hit targets before they even know what's up. This thing was wild. A sleek, arrowhead-shaped body made to handle insane heat and pressure as it tore through the upper atmosphere. But it wasn't exactly easy to control. Both test flights ended early due to stability issues, but the data collected was priceless. DARPA called it a data-driven journey. Translation: every second it stayed airborne taught engineers how to deal with extreme speed, heat, and aerodynamic chaos. That knowledge is now fueling the future of hypersonic tech, from defense to next-gen spaceflight. The HTV-2 didn't stick the landing, but it lit the path. When you're chasing Mach 20, every second counts, and this beast made them count. Hypersonic Warhawk. The dark horse isn't just a jet. It's a challenge to everything we thought flight could be. This hypersonic military beast is coming out of the Hermeus lab in the US, and yeah, it's uncrewed, fast, and looking to change the way war is waged in the sky. The dark horse isn't just a prototype, it's being designed for mass production. That's the big twist. While most hypersonic projects are one-offs or tech demos, Hermeus is out here trying to make hypersonic capability a regular thing. We're talking Mach 5 and beyond, 5 times the speed of sound, with a drone that can scout, strike, and straight up vanish before radar even gets a ping. Powered by a hybrid turbine-based combined cycle engine, this jet's got a whole new kind of muscle. It takes off like a regular plane, then kicks into hypersonic mode once it hits altitude. That's some serious innovation, and no pilot means zero risk on high-speed, high-stakes missions. The big picture? Rapid response, deep strike capability, and reusable tech that can run ops multiple times. From recon to combat support, Dark Horse is all about keeping the edge sharp and the speed savage. So, are we entering a new flight era, or just showing off next-gen speed? And can anything outpace Mach 20, or is that the ceiling? Smash like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell.